It all started as a whisper in the Wicked fandom, a little rumor floating through Twitter threads at 3 in the morning. But suddenly, that whisper turned into a thunderstorm, and now the internet is convinced that something explosive is happening behind the scenes. And guess who has stepped into the spotlight? Lena Waithe, Cynthia Erivo's partner, who is now being painted by fans as the only person bold enough to break the silence. According to the loudest corners of social media, Lena has had enough of the lingering glances, the suspicious chemistry, and the viral moments between Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. And the way fans are telling it? Lena is not simply annoyed, she is done. Betrayal, tension, hidden emotions, the fandom is spinning theories faster than anyone can keep up. But hold on, because this is where the internet completely loses its mind. The fan speculation goes way beyond friendly closeness. TikTok detectives, Twitter analysts, and Reddit conspiracists are stitching together clips like it is a full-blown investigation, claiming Ariana has been crossing lines and acting way too comfortable around Cynthia. And the theories do not stop there. Some fans are even suggesting this might not be the first time Ariana has been accused of getting a little too close to someone already taken. And just like that, the nickname resurfaces, Mrs. Steal Your Girl. The fandom eats it up. The drama intensifies. The narrative spirals. So what exactly sparked this explosion of online chaos? Well, everything traces back to those Wicked promotional rounds. Do you remember how people kept posting clip after clip of Ariana and Cynthia touching each other's arms, leaning into each other, whispering, laughing, and acting like they completely forgot they were being filmed? Entire Instagram pages were dedicated to analyzing their body language like it was a graduate-level thesis. And that infamous holding space interview? Oh, the internet treated that like a crime scene. Fans slowed down the video, zoomed in on hand placements, and added dramatic background music, all to prove the undeniable tension they believed existed. We all thought that was peak weirdness. We all assumed it could not possibly get stranger. But the Wicked for Good promo? That changed everything. The moment Ariana was grabbed by a fan, and Cynthia immediately stepped in, wrapping her arms around her like it was an instinct, social media exploded in real time. Twitter turned into a digital war zone. TikTok went feral. Comment sections split into factions arguing about loyalty, boundaries, and hidden emotions. And that protective moment? Yeah, for the internet, that was the match that lit the gasoline. Now the theories are hotter than ever, the edits are getting more dramatic, and everyone is waiting to see whether this storm fades away, or erupts into something even bigger. And then came the moment that sent the internet spiraling into a new dimension of chaos, their final promo interview. The one where Cynthia and Ariana sat side by side, smiling like two best friends in a coming-of-age movie, talking endlessly about how they wanted to remain besties forever, as if the entire world had not been side-eyeing their every interaction for months. Fans clipped that interview, slowed it down, added dramatic filters, and started acting like they were decoding a relationship thriller. Because the energy? It felt off. It felt weird. It felt like two people pretending everything was completely normal while the ground beneath them was cracking open. And as it turns out, the fandom was not the only one feeling that unsettling shift, because according to online whispers, Cynthia's partner Lena Waithe was feeling it too. Rumors spread like wildfire that Lena has been watching Ariana with the suspicion level of someone solving a true crime case. Fan pages claim Lena believes Ariana is not simply being cute or friendly, she is allegedly playing some sort of long game, deliberately positioning herself as the fragile, soft-spoken sweetheart so Cynthia feels this overwhelming protective instinct toward her. And honestly? The internet has receipts. People keep posting clips of Cynthia reacting dramatically every time Ariana clears her throat, coughs, or even blinks too fast. And when that fan grabbed Ariana in the crowd and Cynthia jumped in like a trained guardian. Oh, social media had a field day. TikTok immediately yelled, "See? This is exactly what Lena is worried about." And whether those theories are true or not, the internet believes Ariana's strategy, whatever it is, seems to be working frighteningly well. What makes this even more explosive is the claim circulating in fan circles that Lena fears Cynthia is only one emotional moment away from crossing a line. They have been together for years, building a life and a legacy, but the internet keeps reminding us of Ariana's chaotic relationship history. People bring up her whirlwind connection with Ethan Slater, pointing out that he was still married and had just welcomed a new baby when things reportedly shifted. The fan narrative paints Ariana as someone who sees a wall and simply climbs over it if she wants what is on the other side. And the jokes are flying too, people saying, well, she made a whole song about breaking up with your girlfriend because she is bored, so honestly, what did anyone expect? The drama writes itself. And this is where the tension snaps into something deeper. According to insiders that fans keep quoting, Lena has been working overtime behind the scenes, trying to gently, or not so gently, makes Cynthia pull back from Ariana. And honestly, the internet cannot blame her, especially when they drag up that one picture of Cynthia, Ariana, and Lena together. The one where fans swear Lena looks like a background character in her own relationship. TikTok users joke that Lena is third-wheeling her own partner, while Ariana and Cynthia share a moment like they are starring in a soft glam perfume commercial. It is brutal out there. But the real kicker? Apparently Lena has been fighting this battle since the first Wicked movie came out. Even back then, fans noticed the tension. She posted a clip from an interview with a cryptic caption saying, "I am watching you too on this press tour. Insufferable." People turned that into memes within minutes. Then there was another post where she talked about maturity in relationships and shutting down false narratives before they grow, but the internet interpreted that as Lena trying to convince herself everything was fine. Spoiler, the fans did not think everything was fine. And just when the internet thought the situation could not possibly get more chaotic, the tattoo drama dropped like a bomb. Matching tattoos. Yes, matching tattoos. And Ariana wrote this emotional, poetic message calling Cynthia my Cynthia, and talking about laughs, tears, love, admiration, and memories she would never forget. Fans went absolutely ballistic. They dragged out Ariana's entire tattoo history like a legal case file, pointing out that she gets matching ink with people she becomes romantically attached to. They replayed the Pete Davidson era, the hidden trips to tattoo shops, the matching designs, the spontaneous ink nights. And suddenly, the internet started yelling, "She is repeating the cycle with Cynthia." Whether it is true or not, the conspiracy theories multiplied overnight. But here comes the plot twist that the fandom treats like a cinematic betrayal arc. Some people believe Lena's fear might be rooted in her own history, specifically how her relationship with Cynthia began. Not everyone knew this, but the internet certainly did. The story goes back to the Met Gala in 2018, where Lena and Cynthia first met. And it was not just a polite hello. According to interviews and old posts fans keep resurfacing, Lena had already admired Cynthia deeply and felt an instant spark the night she presented Cynthia with an award. Then Cynthia posted about Lena, calling her sis and saying they were stuck together like glue. Fans did not buy the sis part for a second. Within months, Lena and Cynthia were everywhere together, events, carpets, parties, panels, inseparable in a way that made fans raise their eyebrows. But here is the messy part, Lena already had a partner, Alana Mayo. She was married. And not long after all that public affection between Cynthia and Lena started bubbling online, Lena and Alana announced their separation. And when fans realized the marriage ended only 2 months after being made official, they immediately connected dots that may not even exist. The internet built entire timelines accusing Lena's closeness with Cynthia of being the real reason things fell apart. So now? With all this happening between Cynthia and Ariana, or at least what fans think is happening, the internet is calling it karma. They are saying the cycle is looping back, the roles have reversed, and Lena is finally experiencing the same fear she once caused someone else. Whether it is fair or not, whether it is true or not, the narrative has already taken on a life of its own, and it is spiraling faster than anyone can control. And honestly, the situation becomes even more unstable when you remember that Ariana has built an entire legacy on whirlwind romances and relationships that begin with fireworks and end in emotional rubble. The internet has never forgotten her quick marriage that dissolved in less than 2 years. People still reference the meteoric rise and tragic fall of her engagement to Pete Davidson, a relationship that went from global headlines to abrupt silence faster than anyone could process. So when fans look at all these new moments between Ariana and Cynthia, they cannot help but connect the dots. They cannot help but wonder if Ariana is carrying that same unpredictable energy straight into Cynthia and Lena's relationship, an energy that moves too fast, bonds too deeply, and leaves too many cracks in its wake. And what is making the fandom spiral even harder is the pattern they believe Cynthia herself has been repeating for years. Her dynamic with Lena has always fascinated viewers, but these days it has turned into an entire emotional puzzle that people are obsessed with solving. Every new clip, every new post, every new interview feels like another clue. It is as if the internet as a collective unit leaned forward and whispered, "Hold on, is Cynthia falling into the same emotional rhythm again?" Because this is the storyline fans have been stitching together, that Cynthia is someone who connects too quickly, bonds too intensely, and blurs boundaries without realizing the emotional earthquake she is triggering in the background. Not because she is malicious, not because she wants to cause chaos, but because she desperately wants to be loved, to be seen, to belong, to feel emotionally welcome everywhere she goes. It is sweet until it is messy. Innocent until it is destructive. Charming until someone else gets hurt. But the moment that reportedly made Lena freeze, the moment that cracked something inside her, was not some dramatic scandal or explosive argument. No, it was a word. A single word that echoed across her memory like a ghost. Sis. Ariana and Cynthia calling each other sis. That was the trigger. That was the emotional déjà vu that made Lena's entire chest tighten. Because Lena remembered exactly how her whole connection with Cynthia began, with that same word. That same warmth. That same intimacy disguised as sibling-like affection. Cynthia called Lena sis on the very first day they clicked, and back then Lena felt honored by it. She felt chosen. Special. Welcomed into Cynthia's inner world. So imagine hearing Ariana use that exact same word, with that exact same tone, and watching Cynthia embrace it effortlessly again. It is not hard to see why Lena's stomach dropped. And Ariana did not stop at the nickname. She posted Cynthia on Instagram, calling her her proud sister, with hearts, twinkles, soft music, the entire aesthetic package that suggests closeness, affection, and deep emotional bonding. The public caught it instantly. They began grabbing screenshots and comparing them side by side with old posts where Cynthia wrote almost identical captions for Lena. The glittery language, the admiration, the sentimental tone, it was all the same. And suddenly the internet began looking at Lena with sympathy, because patterns like that are not coincidences. They repeat for a reason. In isolation, these moments would look harmless, two co-stars bonding, two artists supporting each other, two women forming a friendship under the pressure of filming a massive movie. But the internet is allergic to surface-level analysis. They dig deeper, connect history to present behavior, and examine emotional breadcrumbs like forensic investigators. When you look through that lens, you begin to understand why Lena might be rattled. She has lived this story before. She knows how fast Cynthia attaches to people. How fast she goes from colleagues to inseparable emotional partners. And how quickly those blurred lines can start slipping into territory no one prepared for. Then fans resurfaced that Elle magazine interview, the one where Cynthia described her very first day meeting Ariana. And when they compared that interview to older clips of her talking about Lena, the similarities became almost too loud to ignore. Cynthia said, "I have gained a sister. At this point, we speak almost every day." The internet gasped. Same phrase. Same intensity. Same emotional cadence. She talked about how she and Ariana were blown away by how connected they felt instantly, how intimate it felt to sing together at John M. Chu's house, and how grateful she was to find someone open and available. These were not casual comments. They were echoes, emotional echoes, of the language she once used for Lena. So when people say Lena is not overreacting, this is why. She is not spiraling out of insecurity. She is recognizing a cycle she once lived through, a cycle that cost her deeply, and now she is watching it replay with someone else. Someone with Ariana Grande's history, influence, charm, and emotional intensity. And then comes the next twist, the rumors swirling around Ariana's relationship with Ethan Slater. Fans suspect their connection might be fading, shifting, or dissolving in the background. And the detail that makes everyone lose their minds? Ariana and Ethan also met while filming Wicked. The parallels are almost poetic if they were not so messy. Ariana met Ethan on set. Ariana met Cynthia on set. Cynthia met Lena while working on a project. The universe keeps remixing the same storyline like it is obsessed with creating emotional sequels. So now the theory online is that if Ariana is drifting from Ethan, and Cynthia is emotionally entangled with both Lena and Ariana, then the entire dynamic might not be as peaceful as it appears. Some fans think Cynthia might unintentionally be the gravitational force pulling everyone into emotional chaos again. Not deliberately. Not maliciously. But because she bonds deeply with whoever stands closest to her heart at any moment. And Lena? She is the type who notices things long before anyone else does. She sees energy shifts. She feels emotional currents that others ignore. She probably stayed silent for a long time, trying not to cause conflict, hoping it would pass. But when someone you love once called you sis in a way that changed your life, and later you hear them use that same word for someone new with the same soft intensity, something breaks inside you. Something questions its own worth. Something whispers, was I really special? Or was I just another temporary emotional chapter? And that is the question haunting this entire situation. Meanwhile, the internet is doing what it does best, transforming every interview, every red carpet clip, and every shaky behind-the-scenes video into a full-blown emotional autopsy. People are slowing down frames, zooming into hand placements, analyzing lingering eye contact, and comparing old interactions to new ones. And the pattern they believe they see? Cynthia lights up around Ariana in a way that feels almost too familiar. The mirroring, the synchronized smiles, the soft touches, the frequency of Instagram posts, everything is being read as emotional déjà vu. And with every comparison to the way Cynthia once acted around Lena, the speculation intensifies. Some fans swear they have noticed Lena becoming quieter in interviews lately whenever Cynthia's name is mentioned. Not silent, just muted. Present, but maybe emotionally pulled back. Like she is bracing herself for a storyline she has lived through once before and does not want to star in again. Others believe Lena understands exactly how Cynthia functions emotionally, how intensely she attaches to people. How quickly she can elevate a friendly bond into a deep, glowing connection that overshadows everything else. At first, that energy feels intoxicating, warm, magnetic. But over time, it can leave the people in her orbit scrambling to keep up, trying not to be replaced by whoever becomes Cynthia's next emotional gravitational pull. And Ariana? Fans believe she is genuinely enchanted by Cynthia's energy. Effortlessly drawn to it. She celebrates Cynthia loudly, posts her frequently, hypes her up unapologetically, and seems to treat her like a source of comfort during a chaotic time in her own life. And with all the rumors swirling about Ariana and Ethan drifting apart, the internet is convinced Ariana might be clinging even harder to Cynthia, not romantically, but emotionally. Because emotional safety feels addictive when every other part of your world is crumbling. Hollywood friendships are never simple. They exist inside bubbles of pressure, fame, long filming schedules, and the constant glare of public attention. Everything becomes amplified. A soft smile becomes a scandal. A supportive touch becomes a headline. A shared laugh becomes a conspiracy theory. And in the middle of all this intensity is Lena, watching the internet assign meaning to moments she probably tried to ignore. That is why fans say Lena's concern is not rooted in jealousy over a simple word like sis. It is rooted in emotional history. In patterns that repeat like clockwork. The same phrases. The same nicknames. The same rituals. When someone you love starts repeating the exact emotional script they once used with you, it forces you to question whether your connection was truly one of a kind, or just part of a cycle that resurfaces whenever Cynthia bonds deeply with someone new. And then there is the layer of chaos involving Ariana and Ethan Slater. The rumor mill online claims that Ariana might have ended whatever they had, or at least pulled back, right around the time she grew closer to Cynthia. Fans joke that Ethan threw away his marriage only to watch Ariana drift toward someone else. And the detail that makes the entire internet combust? Both relationships, Ariana with Ethan, and Ariana with Cynthia, began on the set of Wicked. Just like Cynthia's connection with Lena began in the middle of a work project. It is messy symmetry. Emotional history repeating itself like an echo in a canyon. And in the middle of all this emotional storm, some fans believe Lena is preparing for a fight, not a physical one, but an emotional and reputational one. They say she is refusing to let Cynthia slip into Ariana's orbit without pushing back. Some even claim insiders have hinted that Lena is willing to expose Ariana's rumored private life if necessary, specifically the long-running speculation online about Ariana possibly being on the down low. These rumors have floated in fandom spaces for years, especially after Victoria Monet once hinted publicly that Ariana is bisexual. And for fans, that connected another dot. It added another layer to the theory that Ariana's emotional bond with Cynthia feels different, deeper, than her past connections with men. And then Ariana finally responded. After ignoring countless comments about being too close to Cynthia, she suddenly gave an explanation in an interview about why she